The Obama Presidential Center is a bit closer to reality today. That's after the former First Family, Barack and Michelle Obama, returned to Chicago to break ground on the center in Jackson Park. The move comes after years of legal battles, gentrification concerns, and a federal review. Our Amanda Vinicky was there for the groundbreaking and joins us now from Jackson Park. Amanda, set that scene for us.
Yeah, Brandis, I'm actually just outside Jackson Park, outside of the closed gate, beyond which will be the future Barack Obama Presidential Center. And I'm guessing is going to be a while before members of the public are going to be able to get past that fencing. In fact, members of the public weren't there today. It was a small audience of dignitaries and media. What we saw really at this point, a whole lot of dirt, bulldozers, and other construction equipment, because while today was the official groundbreaking, there's clearly been a whole lot of work going on in the site since the Obama Foundation officially took it over some 19 acres of Jackson Park's 550 acres in mid-August. During his remarks, former President Barack Obama talked about why he chose this particular place for the monument to his legacy.
It's close to where Michelle grew up, where I started my political career. It is surrounded by vibrant neighborhoods and a community where we believe we can help make a difference. Jackson Park also happens to hold a special place in my heart because it was literally my entryway into Chicago.
Within a couple miles radius of here, he says, is where he and Michelle held their wedding reception at the South Shore Cultural Center, where their daughters were born in a nearby hospital, where he and the former First Lady bought their first home.
Chicago is where I found the purpose I'd been seeking. It's where I finally put my ideas about democracy and activism and social change to the test.
Michelle Obama was likewise effusive about her roots, saying that her South Shore upbringing courses through her veins, that despite having met royalty and popes, she is most proud of being a daughter of the South Side, even if she says, as a youth, the park itself didn't really call to her. It was mostly a place, she says, to either drive through or drive around. She says that when her family wanted to get culture or green space, they had to really pile into her father's Buick and go north.
And even as a child, I understood this disparity. I understood that whenever there was a huge investment of resources in the city, new park or infrastructure improvements, or any other beautification effort, it just rarely happened in our neighborhood.
The Obamas say that their plan is to, quote, restore Jackson Park. They say that they will plant new trees and make this a people's park. Now, the word restore is one that may cause umbrage from critics because despite all of today's pomp, there is still an ongoing lawsuit that is seeking to prevent the center from being built here at Jackson Park, site of the 1893 World's Fair, and also an open area that the organization Protect Our Parks says should remain that way. And that was a point made by a plane flying overhead during the ceremony with a banner that read, "Stop cutting down trees, move OPC." Now, Protect Our Parks says that it can't take credit for the plane, even if it agrees with the sentiment, issuing a statement saying the homecoming of the former president and the First Lady should be a moment of pride for Chicagoans. On this visit, though, we hope they will mourn the devastation of the initial clear cutting of the mature trees and the destruction of the Women's Garden in Jackson Park, in addition to the long-term environmental and public health dangers that will ensue. Dixon Romero was born and raised in South Shore and likewise says that today should be a joyous day. And he says there's still a potential that it will be the start of a joyous occasion. But he says in order for that to happen, the city needs to make sure to protect South Shore residents from getting displaced.
We need more public and affordable housing in South Shore because those prices that are cheap now, or not cheap, but they're relatively cheap compared to everywhere else, even though most South Shore residents struggle to pay their rent, are gonna rise up because we're in between the lake, the golf course, and the Obama Center. This is gonna become prime real estate. And if the folks who sent Barack Obama to Springfield, the folks who sent him to the Senate, the folks who sent him to DC, we're a part of those journeys. They should be a part of the journey of this center, and that means they have to be able to stay.
Now, the City Council did pass a housing preservation ordinance covering Woodlawn, but there is no such measure right now for South Shore residents' protections. Alderwoman Leslie Hairston says the communities are different.
They have vacant land in Woodlawn, more amounts of vacant land than they do in South Shore. You've got a mixture of federally subsidized, state subsidized, and other subsidies. You've got market rate, you've got affordable rental, you've got 2 flats, you've got 3 flats. So you've got everything, and it's all in a very dense area. It's not as spread out as, you know, the parts of Woodlawn that I represent.
She says, however, that there should be news coming soon about South Shore. Now, I did talk with other Chicagoans, some of whom were bothered that the Obamas kept today's events small and cordoned off rather than participation from the community. You also had Kevin Hobby, who lost his son to gun violence and said that President Obama should use his return to the city to deal with that issue.
We're out here, we're trying to save these kids, give them an opportunity to do something, because you can't just tell them to get up off the street and stop doing what they're doing, and you're not giving them an option to do something. You know, so that's what we're out here fighting for. We need help. President Obama, if you could help us.
Now, certainly not everyone is upset. I spoke with a man who lives across the street from the former presidential center, and he is positively thrilled that what he says he expects will be Chicago's greatest attraction is just going to be across Stony Island Avenue from his home. Now, the Obamas likewise have high aspirations for the center. It may be just dirt now, and nice dirt, as President Obama called it, but they want it to be a catalyst for reinvestment in the South Side, providing jobs and opportunity for the surrounding areas and their mostly black residents, and spurring billions of dollars in economic activity. Obama says that he wants this museum, its accompanying athletic fields and library to be more than just a presidential archive.
Will be the world's premier institution for developing civic leaders across fields, across disciplines, and yes, across the political spectrum. A forum for those who want to strengthen democratic ideals and foster active citizenship. A campus right here on the South Side where we hope to convene, support, and empower the next generation of leaders.
Construction slated to be complete come 2025. With that, Brandis, back to you.
2025, Amanda. We'll see you then. Thank you.